What's up, everybody? It is Monday, and I'm back in my spot. Kelly, are you back home yet? Have you made it back that far?
I'm not back in Vegas right now, but you know what? I'm here, and the electricity just went out, so we're gonna cross our fingers that it stays on. For filling in on Mondays, especially while I was gone, I appreciate it. And shout out to our good friend Stephen Che for filling in on Wednesdays. I had a really nice vacation, so thank you guys for allowing me to do that.
And Chris, you doesn't look like you're in your usual spot. Where are you this week?
I am currently at the headquarters of Barstool right now in New York City
Ooh.
for the dozen tournament. Awesome here. The place is, from what I'm hearing. I mean, I haven't been here very often. It's pretty lively. It's been awesome to see everybody. I usually do stuff from my parents' basement, so just be able to get out of the house a little bit and travel and see people that I really enjoy being around. It's awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned before the show started your latest, not latest, but maybe your earliest but latest video you put out of critiquing a movie. And I was saying you just haven't changed a bit. You're still just so correctly critical, but also it's just like the most sweetest criticism of a movie or of whatever you do. It's like just the sweetest ever. So I just think everyone should go watch that because it was really, really cute. Well, we have Mr. Chris highlighted for his dozen tournament this week. So everybody, let's cross our fingers and hopefully Chris gets every answer correct, which I think he will. What do you think, Kelly? You think he'll do good?
I mean, he can't do any worse than we did. Megan, it's gotten so bad that, like, nobody even wants to pick me up as a free agent on their team. I think our performance was a one and done, and definitely, what can you do?
Yeah, if anyone ever needs anyone back that has great knowledge of, like, SpongeBob, I'm your girl. So
Ooh.
We would kill it in SpongeBob trivia then.
Oh, me and you? Let's do it.
We destroy a niche category of SpongeBob. We murder it. Yeah.
And then in Star Wars, but for you, I would need to catch up.
That's fair. But for SpongeBob, early SpongeBob, game over. Yeah.
Game over. Yeah, we would take it. Okay. Well, now that everyone knows that Chris and I would absolutely crush everyone in SpongeBob trivia, let's go ahead and get to some MLB. Chris, I did not take this game, but this is one of the main reasons why you're here. This is the first game on the board. It's Tigers Ray. You have Faedo, which I made sure to get correct before I got on the broadcast. And Kluber. My initial thought was to lean the Rays in the run line here, but the more I looked at it, I couldn't really pull the trigger. I also don't want to lay minus 200 on the money line with the Rays. Yeah. So I want to see what you think about your Tigers and see if they can just pull an outright W today.
Well, I mean, I believe they are the hottest team in baseball. They've won 3 in a row. They just swept the Baltimore Orioles. So hopefully in the midst of turning around what was a dumpster fire to start the season. But beyond that, this is a weird one because you have Kluber on the mound for the Rays. Kluber historically, in the early part of his career, was awful against the Tigers. Like Miguel Cabrera just owned him, turned things around in the second half of his career. Now Kluber is not what he was, 2014 through 2017 when he was winning Cy Youngs, but he's still a very effective pitcher. This is even beyond the emotion because I say that I can't bet on the Tigers. This is one I would lean towards staying away from because you had Faedo, who's 2 starts into his major league career, who was called up on a necessity. The Tigers have had a ton of injuries to their rotation, but he's looked pretty good. His last outing, I believe, against an A's team that admittedly is not the best, 17 swings and misses, I believe. I mean, he had very good stuff when the Tigers took him out of Florida back in 2017, but this would be one I'd stay away from because I feel like when you have a young pitcher like that, he's due. The next start is the one where he's due to get popped. So, and we know how dangerous the Rays can be. So it's one I would stay away from because there's a lot of conflicting data.
Yeah, that's why I immediately looked at it and I stayed away. Kelly, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I'm kind of leaning with Chris. I think the stay away is probably the right answer here. I mean, the Tigers, like you mentioned, Chris, the injuries have just been piling up. They've lost 9 of their last 13 games. And the worst part is, of those 9 losses, 6 of them have been by 2 or more runs. So yeah. I am squarely looking at, okay, if I'm going to bet the Rays, I'm going to bet them on the run line. If they're going to win the game, they're going to win the game by 2 or more in theory. That's just not what I do, right? I'm looking for every once in a while finding those baseball outright underdogs. The Cardinals was that team yesterday. Shout out to my girlfriend, Ariel Epstein, for putting me onto them. That team might be the Mets today, even though now the Mets are the favorite, but we'll get to them here in a minute. this is a Tigers team that they're not the Cincinnati Reds, but they've been playing like the Cincinnati Reds. And it's really frustrating.
Offensively, yes, they are. I mean,
and that concerns me. And baseball having, 160, I guess this year, 150 some games, but normally having 160 plus games, it's really hard to be consistent. And that's my main issue. Right now, the Tigers are inconsistent offensively, as Chris mentioned, and even more so. I just am not willing to lay my money on them, and I'm not willing to lay $2 on the Rays either.
Yep. So this is a pass from all three of us, which means you just get to keep your money and spend it on something else. Let's go ahead. We can skip the Nats and the Marlins unless you guys have anything that y'all want to add, or if y'all are playing it. I'm not playing it. I lean Marlins because I think Sandy Alcantara is the more consistent pitcher there. And I think the Marlins could get it done, but I'm not laying 200 on the Marlins either. Again, this is a pass for me. Chris, we'll see. If you had to lean away, would you take the run line here with the Marlins, or would you take the Nats money line?
I would, because I don't know if it's Alcantara or Alcantara, but he's been really good. Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll run with both. He's been great against the Nats, and honestly, I did not know Aaron Sanchez was still in the league. So because of that, I would lean towards Marlins run line. I've said multiple times on the show before, I like their rotation. I think they have some really good pitchers. I think that they're going to shut down teams off and on with their pitching. So I'd probably lean towards run line for the Marlins here.
Kelly, do you lean that way too, or you just don't care?
I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find an opinion, and I've got nothing as far as that game goes. But I think you're going to hate me on this next one, Megan.
Well, you like the Orioles? Boo. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Yankees, O's. Yankees are minus 200 on the money line, and they're in my Money Making Mondays parlay today. The Yankees just have been crushing balls. Yeah. I mean, that lineup is just mashing right now. Severino can still fucking hum that ball when he wants to. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that the Orioles are going to be able to create enough offense to keep up with the Yankees in this game, which is why I'm taking them right on the money line in the parlay. If it wins, obviously you get that $10 back if the whole parlay doesn't hit, but if that parlay hits, it was plus one. I got a plus 263 today, but I know some people got a plus 273. It just depends on, on the value that you got during the day. But what do you think, Chris? And then we can kick it over to Kelly, since Kelly obviously is looking towards the O's.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I'm got to go Yankees run line here. The Yankees are playing with so much confidence right now. And I mean, it's well documented. They haven't made the World Series since 2009, but something about this team, mainly their pitching, feels different. I mean, with the way Nestor Cortez is throwing it, with the way Cole is throwing it, and obviously Severino, who really only had one bad outing so far this season. And the Orioles just got swept by the Tigers. I think that I would go Yankees run line here, just because it just seems like they're a team that's just kind of rolling right now.
All right, Megan, I lied. I'm not going to be betting the Orioles. I have a nice little text thread you guys can't see. Sorry. But we have a play today that fits our baseball system. These guys have been kind enough to share their baseball system with me for years. I forgot the Orioles swept the Yankees the last time these guys played. So the play, based on the RPI differential, how these guys use it, and the Yankees being the number one RPI team, as Megan mentioned, their bats and their offense have been really hot. All right, we got the Yankees here, and when the Yankees lose, I'm going to be really pissed because I'm looking at the side.
Well, you can go take my parlay instead. So all they have to do is just win. You don't have to lay.
I just need them to win, because I'm now going to have to bet them for the system. The good news is the system is 3 or 4 games depending on the series, but each time you have to double up. So it can get a little dicey if a team is about to get swept. So let's go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees. Usually I'm not one to say that, but today, let's go Yanks. I don't have a play in this game, but I think we could touch on it real quick, just because like last year, Flexen was the first 5 king, and I have gotten fucking burned trying to play Flexen first 5 this year. I looked at it immediately and said, nope. Then you look at the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays have been kind of on a little skid here, but now they go back home. I was leaning Blue Jays earlier today, but and the price has gone up a little bit. But I couldn't get anything with this game. Chris, do you have an idea where you would put your money here, just quickly, since Kelly and I don't think either of us have this.
Yeah, I'd lean Blue Jays too. I know that they have been scuffling. Kikuchi scares the hell out of me as a pitcher, because I know he's capable of, he was an all-star last year in the first half. If the cutter's working for him, then yeah, he can be a guy who can shut down a lineup. But really beyond that, I've been on record saying I love this Blue Jays offense, and I feel like if the data is there, you run with betting on that offense. 48 at bats against Chris Flexen, 854 OPS. And a lot of these guys are young and probably only going to get better. So I would lean Blue Jays here because I know the Mariners just won a series against the Mets, but I think that what their big detriment is starting pitching so far this year. So I think the Blue Jays come out on top here.
Kelly, you have an opinion on this one?
I don't. I do think the pricing is a little off, though, Megan, and that's where I guess I'm a little confused. Toronto's not that much better than Seattle. Seattle's actually owned them as of late.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Seattle last year being such a powerhouse first 5 team. They just really haven't been that impressive. Truth be told, I haven't watched a ton of their games this year, but I haven't been impressed the few games that I have gotten to catch. So I'll side with you guys here and lean towards Toronto.
Okay, up next, I have the Astros. They're playing the Red Sox, and that is Odorizzi and Whitlock. The Red Sox are struggling, 3-7 in their last 10 games and are last place in the AL East. Meanwhile, you have my Astros, who are hot right now, winning 12 out of their last 13 games, 5-1 last 6 road games. Our pitcher right now on the mound today, who's Odorizzi, he has gone last 2 games he's pitched, 11.2 innings, no runs scored. And I think that Astros offense, look, I like the under in this game a little bit, but as we saw the other day, the Astros offense can put up big numbers. They just shut out. They've won their last 4 series too. So I think they're so hot right now, and I got them plus 114 this morning. Again, I know that Whitlock is good. I know the Red Sox are kind of starting to get more in their mode. However, I'm riding my hot team, and I'm going to keep on riding this Astros team, especially if I count plus 114. I can't not take that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're pretty much in agreement. I mean, the one stipulation is that the Red Sox have really good numbers against Odorizzi, and I think 865 OPS against him in his career. But the fact is, the Astros are just inevitable. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, every year I'm like, okay, this year they take a step back. It doesn't matter. Like, I think that offense is so good. They do such a good job of developing pitching, and until proven otherwise, I'm going to keep rolling with them too. I know they lost the 1 game to Washington, but they've been on a roll.
Do you think that Odorizzi has just been completely a different pitcher this year? In my opinion, I feel like he's just been like he's just been dialed in so much more this year than I feel like he has in the past.
Well, I think that when he saw a lot of success in Minnesota, he's a very fastball heavy pitcher. And I think last year he had a few injury problems, and you saw the pitch data reflected that the spin rate and the velocity was a little bit down. I mean, he's a pitcher who's built around.
Which we will definitely help. Our bullpen will get that up. We'll be fine. He'll be great.
Right. So, I mean, I think he's going to be all right. In the last 2 outings, I mean, again, you guys do such a good job of developing talent there. And it's just a hot team. It's a confident team right now. So I would, and really the Red Sox all year last year, I was waiting for the Red Sox, like the other shoe to drop, and it never did. And this year, it feels like it's exactly what I expected would happen at some point last year, which is that offense, while good, they have a lot of good players, is inconsistent. But their pitching is so. Whitlock is quite good, but he's not a long-term option. He's not going to go 6-7 innings. I mean, so I like the Astros here, and I'm going to continue to like the Astros.
Plus 104 at the Barstool Sportsbook. Kelly, what do you think here? You're like got this evil smile. Like,
I know, because I'm sitting here looking at the odds screen going, the money's coming in on the other side. And while I agree with you, Chris kind of took my notes, if you will. I know that these are from the last 2 seasons, 20-game sample size, so it's a little bit different. As you mentioned, Megan, Odorizzi is a lot more dialed in this year, but historically he has just pitched terribly against Boston. And I do think Boston showed some life over this weekend, right? At least offensively. And, they were just playing so horrific there for a while, especially at home. You said you lean towards the under. I kind of lean towards the over here. I think we might actually see a lot of offense. I do think we're going to see the Red Sox bats get a little hot. The Astros bats have been hot. I think I'm going to bet the over on this one. And while that seems just a little bit square, 9, it is juiced a little towards the over minus 121 at the Barstool Sportsbook. I think 9 is just telling you all you need to know.
Unless I'm wrong. I just flipped a 9.5 unless I'm wrong.
Unless it just changed. I got to refresh my screen.
Yeah, I think it literally just changed to 9.5.
And see, that's because I'm telling you, I thought that it was a little price, a little cheap there. It is 9.5 plus 102 now at the Barstool Sportsbook. But yeah, I do still lean towards the over. I think that this could just be one of those ridiculous baseball games where we see it end like, 8-7 and everybody's going, what happened here defensively?
Well, Kelly is looking towards not my Astros, so
I'm not going to bet against your Astros because Boston has been so horrific, especially at home. But yeah. I that's why I think you like the Astros towards the under, but that's why I think the over looks more like a play to me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Kelly likes the over. Chris sides with me on the Astros, or at least kind of. Up next, we have Cards, Mets. You have Mikolas and Williams. And the Mets just lost to the Mariners by one big old run. What was that, last night? I feel like my days are
that's insane.
Together, right? And now they get to go see the Cardinals ace. And that Mets bullpen is just a little bit taxed after that game on Sunday. I really do think that the Cardinals, this is a good spot for the Cardinals to maybe sneak up on the Mets. I have some interesting stats. The Cards are 13-5 in their last 18 games, game ones of the series. They're also 15-6 in their last 21 road games versus right-handed starters, and 20-8 in their last 28 road games. So this Cardinals team is good on the road and seems like they can handle a right-handed pitcher. And I think they're going to handle the Mets here today. I think they have the bats to get it done, and I got them plus money too. So both of my plays, my straight plays today are plus money. I do believe they're probably going to be square dogs, but that's okay. I've been so wrong in this month of May. I'm almost wanting to fade myself. But this is the day where I'm getting back on track. Everyone's going to get back on track with me, and that's including all of these humongous multi-million-dollar MLB players. We're all getting back on track today. And that's going to start here with the Cards. I'm taking it from the Mets. They're plus 100 right now at the Barstool Sportsbook. I got them, I believe, plus 102 earlier. So, they were favorited just a couple minutes ago. They're minus 104. So now it's back down to plus 100. So do with that what you will. Chris, tell me that you believe in the Cardinals.
I do. In fact, I actually like this team quite a bit, not just for this game, but for this year. I think outside of like the feel-good story of Pujols and Wainwright and Molina, like finishing their careers out, last Pujols made his pitching debut last night and closed the game out. But really, this is one of those games, since where gambling gets so frustrating, where like the data just suggests like overwhelmingly that the Cardinals should win this outright. I mean, Mikolas has been great against the Mets. This Mets.
Did I screw up his name too? I'm so bad with names, man.
I've heard multiple pronunciations though, but he's been really good there. And the Mets offense, 86 at bats against them, 322 OPS. I mean, that is terrible. So I mean, he's been really dominant against them. I think that team all year that's going to have like some just really good vibes going, because I think that they got the feel good story. But even beyond that, I mean, they got some really good players, and that's always been a well run organization. I know, like, because it's the Mets, people act like the sky is falling down. They're still a really good team. I know they just lost that series to the Mariners, but the pitching injuries are adding up with them. And I think that, looking into tonight, I believe you have Williams on the mound. I mean, that's not somebody that inspires a whole lot of confidence. So, I would definitely lean Cardinals here.
All right, Kelly, are you going to come in with something sharp, being like...
I wish I had something super sharp. I don't want to bet the Mets right now, but yeah. You mentioned square dog. I am just looking on Twitter, and I follow, 10 or 12 pretty solid baseball handicappers, and I don't see a single one of them on the Mets. Everybody's on the Cardinals. You guys are on the Cardinals. I'm not saying I'm going to fade you guys. I'm just saying maybe buyer beware. Chris said it. Every single stat is pointing Cardinals. It's like going off like red flashing lights, and I'm going, okay, what am I missing here? Yes, the Mets are at home, so they should be a slight favorite, but money's coming in on the Mets. It looks like their price has gone up just a little bit. I'm going to give a slight head nod to the Mets and cheer for you guys to be right.
No, it's one of those games that almost feels too obvious that it scares you. Yeah.
Well, and the Cardinals have been one of the best underdog teams all year round. Yeah. So, look, it's tough. I don't want to take the Mets. I'm not going to take the Mets. I'm just saying I feel like my spidey senses are going off, going, okay, what am I missing here?
Yeah, I wasn't super excited to see everyone and their mom on Twitter on the Cardinals this morning, but hey, it is what it is, and I've accepted my fate as a public enemy. So it's okay. We're just, as I said, everyone. It's a new me, new week. Everything's getting turned around. Everything's going to be okay. All right, so that's it for my straight bets. I said I only have 2 today, and then I have my parlay, which we can, unless y'all have any plays on Braves, Brewers, or Pirates, Cubs, I'll hop on down to that Angels game.
Yeah, I got nothing on those. I definitely not enough for the Pirates. I do have to give a shout out to the Pirates after getting no hit. Like they won a game, getting 0 hits. So besides that, though, there's not enough data for those games for me to really lean one way or the other.
All right. Well, up next in my parlay, we have. Sorry, I don't know why my screen went all the way to the top, but here we are. Angels, Rangers. You have Noah Syndergaard. Now he's minus 137 against John Gray and the Rangers. And I put the Angels in my parlay today because I really liked this Angels team. And I really think that they're going to get things done against Gray. I think the bats will be moving. I think the Rangers don't have enough bullpen help right now. I don't think they have enough arms to cover this game. And the Angels, I hate that, that I like the Angels, but I've really liked them this year, and they've continued to impress me. And I'm going to just kind of continue riding this Angels train. As I said, they're only minus 137. So if you wanted to play them straight, you definitely could. I don't particularly love to lay 137. I try to, keep my juice at a minimum. Don't like all that sugar. It's kind of a joke, guys. Just kidding. Bad joke. It was a bad joke. I'm not here today. See, Chris likes it.
Mom joke.
I like it. Yeah.
However, I like Syndergaard. It's this pitching matchup to me. I like Syndergaard, especially. I mean, I might hit him at that price again, even with them being in my parlay. But what do you think about this matchup, Chris?
This is one the Rangers offense has had some success against Syndergaard, but this is one of those like feel picks for me where I wrote a blog about this last week. Something about this Angels team feels different than any Angels team since they've last made the playoffs. Like that, they're getting really good starting pitching performances. Obviously, Reed Detmers threw a no-hitter last week, but like I like the offense. You have the 2 best players in baseball, like batting back to back. I mean, that's a pretty good luxury to have, but even beyond, it's insane, right? Like it's amazing. It's taken them this long to get good with some of the players they have in that lineup. But even beyond that, the Rangers offseason was predicated on these 2 huge signings with Semien and Seager kind of, manning the middle infield. Seager's great and he'll come around. Semien has been awful. Like I think even if Gray pitches well here, I don't have a lot of faith in their offense at this point. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm leaning Angels, though I do think it's possible that they give Syndergaard a bit of a hard time. But I think that Angels offense is a buzzsaw with they're top heavy, but they have guys who can be able to put the ball in play pretty much all across the board.
I'm with you. What do you think, Hal?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I just looked that same group of guys that is so kind enough to share their system play with me did play the Angels. If you remember, the Angels got swept the last time around. This seems a little cheap for how good this Angels offense is. It kind of scares me.
Yeah.
But I do think if I was to bet this outside of what these guys say we have to play because it's a system play, I lean towards the over here. And that's because I do think that the Rangers have a shot to put up some runs here. Now, I know that everybody is going to look at this pitching matchup, but I really do think that the Rangers can get the bats hot here. We already know, Chris said it, the Angels with Ohtani and Trout just absolutely dominating that part of the lineup is going to be likely the Angels score some runs. I like the over. Current, let's look and see. I think it's 8 still. Yep, 8 minus 112 at the Barstool Sportsbook. So give me the over 8 here, and then obviously I'll be also cheering for the Rangers.
All right, let's see what's up next. I know I only have 1 game left, and that's the last game of the day. Do either one of y'all have plays on either the Giants, Rockies, or the Twins, A's? I was leaning Rockies because Wood can get hit, but also I don't know. And I'm also not going to play a quarters total for a very long time because they've hurt my feelings. Usually because I will bet the under in Coors Field because it's all inflated and the bookmakers know that balls fly out of Coors Field, yada, yada, yada. But then all of a sudden it'll be a 3-4 game and never the over doesn't hit, especially first fives. I might go take that first 5 under and actually hurt my feelings again. But I'm not going to. I leaned Rockies. I stayed away per, better judgment probably. But do y'all have an opinion there?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Giants. I hate it. Our good friend Adam is on the Rockies. It's actually like a pretty big play for him. And I think even my buddy Drew chimed in the group chat that he likes it as well. But Giants are a system play. According to these guys, it's the three we have today. We have the Yankees, the Angels, and the Giants. I don't love the Giants here. I don't want to lay 150 or higher. Let me look and see what it is at the Barstool Sportsbook. It is 155 now. But this is just a Rockies team that I'm not sure what to make of them, right? It felt like there in April, they were going to be bad on the road, good at home. And that was kind of their good dichotomy. Now that we're into May, they've just dive bombed. They've only won 1 of their last 7. And I just haven't been that impressed with them. On the flip side, San Francisco's playing better, but they have not been playing better on the road. And that does scare me here. And full disclosure, what I did with these system plays, even though that's not how you're supposed to do it, because I am so about laying $2 with the Yankees, 155 with the Giants, and so forth. I do 2-team round robins with the 3 teams just to help absorb some of it. So if you go 2 out of 3, you're still making a little bit of money. And that's not how it's supposed to be done, but that's just how I do it. Baseball is a little different for me, and I make some exceptions to my betting style.
All right, up next. Do any of you have a play on Twins A's? I know you said no system play on either of those. You have an opinion. I don't have an opinion either. So let's move on to the last game, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. And I'm not going to lie. I'm out of my money line parlay here. I'm fucking terrified of the Dodgers losing to the Diamondbacks tonight. I know that sounds silly, but I feel like that's just been the Dodgers' luck as of late. But I think this is, you have Goslin, you have Mad Bum. Mad Bum's a fucking bulldog. It could be, Megan losing money last month. Yes, absolutely. 100%. So just know that. I feel like it's definitely going to be a pitcher's duel, but when it comes down to it, you have the Dodgers bats that are way more consistent, way more mashing than the Diamondbacks. No. I put them in the parlay just hoping they can win this game. And I feel like almost dirty for saying that because the Dodgers have been so damn good for the majority of the year up to this point. And then kind of like the Blue Jays, they've hit a little skid. And I just didn't understand if they understood, y'all are losing. Y'all understand this, right? Y'all are supposed to win everything. But I guess they didn't. And I like them here today, hopefully just to get the job done. I know they're 1-9 in the last 10 games at home, but come on, Dodgers. I just need my parlay to hit this week. I told you we're changing things around here. No bad vibes. So, Brandon, in the comments, shut the fuck up. Everything's good. But what do you think?
No, I think the thing about the Dodgers is that you're right. They've been scuffling a little bit lately, but because of how talented they are, you always get the impression that they're just one game away from that 10-run explosion, and they go on the 7-game win streak. Madison Bumgarner has looked as good as he's looked in quite a while, has looked as good as he's looked since putting on a Diamondbacks uniform, but his pitch data is pretty weak. I mean, he's below the 50th percentile in almost every category except expected batting average. So I feel like he's kind of due to get popped. I think the Dodgers are hungry. Now Mad Bum hates the Giants. Mad Bum hates the Dodgers because he used to pitch for the Giants. So he's an emotional pitcher, but with a team this talented, I always feel like you're about to wake a sleeping giant when it comes to the Dodgers. So that's kind of where I lean towards with this game right here. Yeah.
Did everyone say hi to Brandon Walker in the comments?
Oh God.
He literally just walked by.
It's just Brandon. It says Brandon Walker over Megan losing money. So that's the only person that would ever.
I mean, yeah. Who else would do that? And also, I'm just glad he's back to planet Earth. That meltdown the other day was just. Anyway, unfortunately, we had to all witness that. So, as far as this one goes, I'm going to say this, and this is full disclosure. We all know I like to hold some grudges, and I'm going to get over this. Okay, one of these days, I'm going to forgive Madison Bumgarner for ruining my Royals 15-1 future bet from what was that? The 2000.
Chris probably knows.
14 World Series, something like that. Either way, I'm still not over
correct,
it.
Megan. Yes,
the guy blows snot rockets on the mound, and he grosses me out. And I would love to just sit here and trash him.
You don't love snot rockets occasionally?
he's gross. He's just gross. I just can't even look at him. Like, I'm just really glad some of those old tweets about him are deleted because there was some really mean shit in there even. Because he just wasn't a good person. Okay. He's probably actually a great person. I don't know anything about him. But I was really, really, really mad that he got to pitch 2 of those games in that 7-game series. That being said, I don't know if he is really as good as we think he is, right? He only has really, I'm looking at his stats right now, I would say 1 great start under his belt this year, right? Like outside of that, he's pitched 5 times and I just don't think he's that good. But Megan, you mentioned the Dodgers being a sleeping giant. The Dodgers aren't that good. You know, here they are supposed to be the favorite to win the World Series yet again, and they're just not that good. Yeah. On paper, they look great. But as far as like their betting record, you're laying a lot of money here on this team and barely profitable. Just barely right now. You're basically breaking even if you bet this team. Am I going to bet the Diamondbacks plus 190? No, I doubt it. But if I could get over my hatred towards Bumgarner, maybe I should start loving money more than I hate Madison Bumgarner, but I don't. And as of right now, I hope he gets pulled in the 2nd inning because the Dodgers score 40.
Let's do it. I hope so. I hope the Dodgers hang 40 in the 2nd inning. So just to recap my bets, I have the Astros. I also have, literally my brain just went out. I have the Cardinals. And then I have in my parlay, I have Yankees, Dodgers, Angels. And again, in that parlay, you bet $25+ after you opt in. It's up there. All you got to do is click it, go to bet with. It's in the bet with. You bet that whatever leg wins, you get money back if the whole parlay loses. But obviously, if the whole parlay wins, which it will, you get your money completely all together. So, yeah, it's all good there. Chris, what charity are we helping out today? Have we decided?
Today, let me double check here for I got them backed up. Animal rescue flights. I'll be posting a link on my after tonight's Tiger post game. I got like 60 of them backed up right now. The response was crazy. So I'll make sure to post the link where people can donate. Appreciate you giving a shout out here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Megan did actually just tell me you were doing this the other day. For some reason, you're shadow banned on my Twitter because I hardly ever see your stuff.
Look at Chris.
I did follow Elon's instructions today, how to get the people you actually want to see. You have to go click the stars in the upper right-hand corner. Anyway, hopefully that helps so I can actually see more of the people I want to see. So, Chris, please tweet that out. I would love to donate. We all know how much I love animals. And like Zach said, money shots greater than wrestling, even though nobody's even watching us right now because it's the dog days of summer. We'll be back Wednesday with NBA. I know a lot of people were asking in the comments. I have not decided on what I'm going to bet on the NBA yet because I'm still melting down from that under not hitting last night, okay? I just laid there in bed with my eyes open for 2 hours after that game. What did I do to deserve this? What did I do, gambling gods? Can someone just please tell me?
At least
87 points at half. 70+ points in the 4th quarter. Thank you for coming out, Phoenix Suns, and playing a little bit of defense, guys. I really appreciate that.
All right, guys. Well, Chris will tweet out his charity link after the Tigers game today. Hopefully, they bring me a W because I have nothing to do with it. So I always like to cheer for you as long as money's not involved. As long as you cheer back for my Astros. That's the deal here on Money Shots, especially on Mondays. We'll be back Wednesday, as Kelly said, with Mr. Stephen Che to talk NFL. We're not there yet.
God, we're so close, Megan.
Almost.
Look, I just got my new NFL notebook in. Obviously, it's really blank right now. But every year, I buy a new notebook because I'm a lunatic and I like to handwrite all of my stuff. Cannot wait to get started on the NFL. We're so close.
So close, yet so far away. We got to get through baseball first. And this month has not been too kind to your girl, but we're going to get through it. We're going to power through it. Baseball is a grind. So y'all please remember that. I'm putting out picks every single day for baseball. And it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot of information to try to filter through. It's a lot of games over and over and over, and a lot of pitchers seeing players over and over and over. It's a lot of data to rummage through. So it's a grind, not just on me, but on the players. These players are traveling back and forth. I don't know where their head's at. I don't even know where my head's at half the time. So let's just, come together, come to a consensual agreement that, hey, we're grinding together, and all we're trying to do is take money from the Barstool Sportsbook. We love you guys, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks for coming, Chris and Kelly.